India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri held key talks with French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot to address growing instability in West Asia and strengthen the India-France partnership. These diplomatic discussions took place against a backdrop of heightened tensions following the collapse of peace negotiations between the United States and Iran. The situation in West Asia has become increasingly volatile after US President Donald Trump declared a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. This strategic move is intended to stop Iranian oil from reaching international markets, which has raised significant fears regarding a potential global energy shortage. During his stay in Paris, which followed a series of meetings in Washington with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other senior officials, Misri engaged in detailed discussions regarding global challenges and bilateral interests. In addition to meeting with the foreign minister, Misri co-chaired consultations with Secretary General Martin Briens. These discussions covered strategic areas of bilateral cooperation, including defense, civil nuclear energy, space, cyber and digital cooperation, AI, institutional dialogue mechanisms, and initiatives fostering people-to-people exchanges and cultural ties. Both sides also exchanged views on global issues such as cooperation in environment, climate change, and health, cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, trilateral dialogues, joint development projects in third countries, as well as developments in West Asia and Ukraine. India and France also reviewed the progress in bilateral relations, especially after upgrading ties to a special global strategic partnership and the visit of President Macron to India in February this year. The two sides also discussed key goals, including the India-France Year of Innovation, cooperation on economic security, and efforts to increase the exchange of STEM talent, including more Indian students studying in France. They further focused on the aim of doubling bilateral trade, particularly after the conclusion of negotiations on the India-Europe Free Trade Agreement. Vikram Misri and Secretary General Martin Briens agreed to meet again for the Strategic Space Dialogue scheduled to be held later this year. Misri's three-day diplomatic tour, which also includes a stop in Berlin, highlights India's efforts to navigate an increasingly divided geopolitical environment. Meanwhile, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held a telephonic conversation with Kuwait's Foreign Minister Jarrah Jabir Al-Ahmad Al-Sabah to discuss the latest developments in West Asia. According to Jaishankar, the dialogue focused on the regional situation in West Asia and the well-being of the Indian community in Kuwait. The Kuwaiti Foreign Ministry confirmed the call, noting that the leaders addressed recent regional events and the efforts being made to manage them. This exchange follows Jaishankar's recent trip to UAE, which involved strengthening bilateral ties and discussing geopolitical changes affecting the region. New Delhi's continuous engagements reflect India's proactive diplomacy as it seeks to maintain stability and safeguard its national interests in a shifting global order.